Welcome to Syntax. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Front End Happy Hour podcast.
Welcome to this week's JS Party.
Live from Shipshape Studios, this is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot, with your hosts, Robbie the Wagner and me, Charles William Carpenter III.
That's right, Charles. We drink whiskey and talk about web development. I mean, it's all in the name. It's not that deep.
This is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot. Do not adjust your set.
Hey, everybody.
Test.
This is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot live from Big Sky DevCon with lots of feedback. And as the name entails, we drink whiskey on this show. So before I say much else, we're just going to jump right into that and pour this for everyone.
What do we got?
We've got the Undammed Distilling Company Shields River Single Malt Whiskey, handcrafted in Montana, 119.6 proof, because 120 was too much. And I don't know what the mash bill is, but it says it's a single malt, so I guess malted barley, and don't know the age, but let's give it a try.
I still got a job to do after this, so yeah. Let's do an easy hand there.
It's okay, I'll drink his.
Yeah. You still have a job to do too, by the way.
And how do we prepare for that?
Yeah, calm the nerves.
Right. Yeah, there you
Thank
go.
you,
There's
sir.
a little bit. Everyone is welcome to more as needed, so I will start smaller.
Smells nice.
Give it a little sniffy sniff.
Gee.
Let's see.
It's a little swirl.
In
I'm
our
getting-
red solo cups.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, we had
definitely.
just paper cups, and I was like, I've done whiskey in a paper cup. It's not a good idea. It melts the cup. All right. Yeah, I can't really smell a lot from this.
Hey, to Carson, huh? How about that? To Carson.
Yeah, hey.
To Carson.
Carson. Here's
HTML
to you,
Conf.
bud.
Salute.
I'm getting a bit of apricot.
Oh, is it dried apricot or wet apricot?
Are you getting apricot too?
A lot of apricot, yeah.
I lied. I don't know what I'm tasting. I just thought apricot sounded fun.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, you know what? Maybe
I thought
it
that
is
was a Chuck
apricot.
reference. Do you know the joke there?
Oh, he always says apricot?
Yeah, he always does. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely
like
does
water
a
to
little
me.
fruity. Tastes like water.
Tastes like mommy's kisses.
Yeah, that's what I did. I'm already switching back
Yeah,
here.
little bit.
It's sharp on the nose.
Oh, man.
A little smoky, huh?
Yeah.
It is smoky.
Yeah.
It's a little
All right.
hot.
So we have a highly technical rating system on this podcast. It is 0 to 8 tentacles. Let's just run down the line. You prepared?
I'm saying 4. This is
All right.
This is not my favorite. It's,
Okay.
it's a little too much for me. I'm a delicate
Oh.
young man.
Okay. Yeah, for a single malt, this is pretty good because I don't typically like a single malt. This is, I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Wow. It's kind of hot for me, so I'm going to give it a 4 as well. I think I'm
Yeah.
in the 4 camp
Yep,
too.
my
Okay.
man.
I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8.
Because it's alcohol.
Because it's here?
Because it's here.
Nice. Cool. All right.
Amazing.
So
I knew
we
it.
have-
I knew it.
Yeah. I totally skipped letting you guys introduce yourselves, but you've all been on the show. So, like, people probably, and we're at a conference where people all know who you are. So we'll skip that. It's fine.
Okay. My name's Ken Wheeler. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Perfect. Everybody knows.
My name is Chuck Carpenter. I'm the co-host.
Are you moving to Italy soon?
I'm in Italy right now.
Oh,
This is a
sweet.
hologram.
Okay.
My name is Guillermo Rauch.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
That's a good
can
one.
we squash the beef today? Can we talk about that?
No.
No. Okay. Cool. All right. Hard hitting question: is HTML a programming language?
No, it's markup.
Okay. So I have a specific argument about this. So, is Java a programming language?
All right, I know this is a trap.
Yeah. Don't answer that.
I don't want to answer, but I will say yes.
Okay. So Java is compiled and turned into something that a computer can understand, right?
Yep.
Is HTML not?
No.
I'm going to say it must be, but I think that's a bad comparison.
I agree. Bad comparison.
Although I will say you have a bit of an agenda here. Your talk was all on the new stuff in HTML.
That's true.
That's replacing JavaScript components and just destroying JS devs.
He's big HTML. Who's paying you?
Listen, HTML has a lot of cash on hand.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Yeah. Okay.
So you
Anyone
say
else?
it's a language.
I think so, because the way I define, I think pretty much everything is a programming language. If you can type in something and it becomes something else, then it's a programming language.
Disagree.
Okay.
So
Crazy.
Say more.
It's crazy. That's crazy talk. HTMX is a programming language.
Oh, okay.
Now that I agree with. I don't know. One, I don't think it matters. Two, I think HTML and CSS are serve. I mean, you could bake in logic, but like I'm thinking, if there's nowhere to write the business logic, it's more the presentation layer. I think that's my heuristic.
a programming language has to do computation of some sort.
Okay. Then follow-up question, is CSS a programming language?
Absolutely.
I knew you were going there.
Yeah.
I've seen what those kids do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a programming language.
They got-
HTML, it feels like templates to me. Like
Yeah.
it's templating, right? It's not like I built a chat bot with HTML.
I guess
know?
that's true. Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
I would say CSS is more in the realm of programming language than HTML.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's a good take.
I'm going to say no, but I'm going to say, again, it doesn't matter. HTML and CSS are very hard and very valuable, but I don't think they're programming languages.
But if you combine them, they are Turing complete.
That is interesting. I don't think that passes my made-up bar that is not quite well defined. Yeah.
We're all subjective here. There's no
Yeah.
objective.
Yeah. I mean, Minecraft is Turing complete as well. So
And Minecraft
you
is
can
not a
build computers in
programming language.
Minecraft. Well, it could be. Is it?
Everyone knows Minecraft is programming language.
Yeah.
That's well
Redstone
established.
bad boys.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move into something a little bit different. Let's talk about React, because I love React. Did you see Michael Jackson's tweet about killing hooks recently?
No.
You guys see that?
No.
I'm very jazzed about it. He basically said hooks were a mistake, and I'm going to get rid of them.
Yes. Yes. That's
And
awesome.
So do you think we'll go back to classes being cool?
Classes are already cool.
Classes have always been cool.
Yeah, I agree.
We are simpatico. I 100% agree with Ken. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're really
I
cool.
agree too. I saw that class in your talk, by the way.
See, that's
Yeah.
why I like Stimulus. It's based on classes.
The man has
it's
class.
it's like what React used to be. It's a class. There's life cycle hooks, and it's just like more pleasant to work
Take
with.
me back.
It's wonderful. And so yeah, I hope it goes back to
You
classes.
get state, behavior, encapsulation.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it.
It's way better than like
Instance members.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
it's way better than having like a function that's potentially going to be run thousands and thousands and thousands of times unless you put just the right things in the array of stuff that will break that.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. There's an ESLint plugin for that, okay?
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
that also classes are discoverable. So like this whole TypeScript thing, who has the time? But when you're passing around these giant blobs, you got to define them. You got to write out somewhere, here's what the blob looks like. When you're dealing with a class, it's able to be inferred much more easily. And that, like, don't tell anybody, but I'm a PHP man myself.
I've
We
heard
love
that.
classes. Man, we live for classes. We have some unstructured arrays, but the classes are great because you know what the methods are, you know what the properties are, and you just like everything can be inferred by your IDE or your tooling or whatever.
Yeah.
I agree. I think object-oriented programming is best suited for web development. I know that some people would argue that with like Elixir and more functional things. And I could see that being a good use case for some applications or some uses, but would you agree that object-oriented programming is just like a better mental model for what you're trying to do with the web?
I think it's a better mental model for all programming, honestly. Like, whenever I'm thinking about a problem, I'm thinking about the problem as an entity. And that entity could be a class, which has certain behaviors and, things on it. So, like, I feel like people are still thinking about that when they're doing functional programming. There's still an entity you're trying to build up through all these pieces that are just plain functions or whatever. But, yeah, I just think it's better in general.
Yeah.
Has Michael talked about classes coming back, or is this just speculation? He said
no
hooks are done.
Yeah.
But he hasn't said yet what's coming back or
No.
what's taking its
But
place,
he's not
rather.
necessarily in a position to even do that, right?
No, but, well, I mean, they're
I mean,
not.
he can with his new thing, but I'm saying like React proper, like
Well, React is owned by Vercel now, basically. So, yeah,
no,
they're
not
going to keep
basically,
it.
like literally, but
Yeah.
he's not in a position to go pull classes out.
Yeah.
He'll do his own thing.
Because they're not even using React in Remix now, right? Like they're just doing their own.
I think so.
Everything.
I mean, I don't know. It's
That is
it's
my
very hush-hush.
understanding from the very outside.
Yeah.
Looks cool though. Stuff you see Ryan doing?
I like Remix. I think there's a lot of smart people working on it. Okay. Let's talk about the T app fiasco.
The what?
Oh, the T app.
The T.
You seen the T app?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen, basically, there was this app that was built that was for women to complain about men, and all of the data was hacked.
including, and most unfortunately, driver's licenses.
Yes.
That's terrible.
That's unforgivable.
You thought it
No.
was a good idea to give us liquor and have us opine on gender?
Yeah, maybe we'll keep it shifted on this side of the stage for this question.
Yeah. Yeah. So the content of the app and whatever is not the point.
Yeah.
Like, the thing I was going to get at is, what is the responsibility of these services? Like, should Firebase be doing a better job of saying, like, you should not make this public? You should, like, do whatever. Like, should there be more hand-holding, or is that on them for not doing the research?
Yeah. I have one question to back up just a little bit, because this is kind of vague. I think I've seen a couple posts that would say this and some that maybe don't, but was the problem that it was like a vibe coded kind of app? No, that wasn't the issue. Okay.
No, the
was a
problem
public
was
bucket.
a tale as old as time, an unsecured bucket
Okay.
that somebody found it and enumerated it and got it all. And this was an app in the App Store, right?
Yeah.
I think so,
So
yeah.
I think the burden, first and foremost, in my opinion, falls on the developer, obviously. And I think if you're going to collect PII, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. And I would personally, if I, for whatever reason, thought I needed to verify identities, I would use Stripe's identity verification.
Yeah.
I want to touch as little of that as possible.
Yeah.
Do you need to verify identities? I don't know. I don't know the details. But then the misconfiguration of the bucket is pretty bad. Like, obviously people make mistakes, but if you're going to have a cloud service and you have a bucket with PII in it, you got to make sure that you can't just enumerate it. So I think the App Store holds some responsibility, but they don't know. I think it unfortunately comes back to the developer. I don't think it's a Firebase problem. Maybe Firebase needs better defaults.
Yeah.
I haven't ever used it, but do not touch PII if you can afford not to.
I think it falls squarely on the developer.
Yep.
And at the same time, I don't think that, they should be shamed meaningfully.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there should be legislation or regulation put in place.
Right.
Have you tried to send a text message programmatically recently?
No.
It's really hard.
Well, tell
It's
that
really
to the
bad.
spam text I get every day.
I don't know how they're
seems
getting
easy.
certified for it.
They're
but
working hard.
Yeah.
Whatever they did, it's
Yeah.
there's regulation in place where you're not allowed to use Twilio without going through this wild process.
Well, I know there's also like something where if they send a message from a number, if it gets replies back, it like validates it or something. Because they're like, you'll get a
Yes.
text that's like, hey, can you go golfing today from a
Yes.
number you've never seen?
Hey, I'm at the restaurant. And you're
Yeah.
like, "Ah."
And so if you reply to that and like have a conversation with them, then it's like whitelisted and they can just send like everything.
yes.
So anytime you get a spam text, just reply stop and report it as spam.
Yeah. Do
Like-
not reply. Sorry, think you have the wrong number.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Hey, I think you had the wrong guy. I'm actually Chris.
Yeah.
I live here, and
Yeah.
please,
Here's
This
my
is my
driver's
address.
license to prove it.
Here's my driver's license. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
an interesting question about like PII in general, because there's so many third-party apps and platforms for handling PII. But like you said, there shouldn't be legislation against that. You should still have the freedom to choose whatever provider or whatever process you have to go through in order to be like PII certified, whatever that certification is called. I just think it's crazy. They must have been handling PII without being certified. And that's an interesting thing to think about, is like, how does that get through the cracks?
Yeah. Well, I think if you think about, something less high stakes, your Vercel bill
Yeah.
could be $50,000 all of a sudden, right? Shouldn't they have a thing that goes, hey, I think like someone is attacking you. Your bill is normally $500 and now it's $50,000 because something happened. They're like, I feel like these providers, if they want you to use SaaS products, should be like, here's all these safeguards. We do it for you. That's the whole point. If they're not doing that, then why wouldn't you just I guess because manually doing it's
your own
hard.
problem, right? If
Yeah.
you go through a company that provides and does that,
Right.
it's guaranteed that it's going to be secure. But if you're just dumping images in a bucket,
I guess that's true.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
it depends on the thing you're doing, I guess. But
So, we should get out of here. We should go build Clerk for this.
Yeah.
Get a couple mil.
There you go.
You know?
check out our new product coming soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so similarly, if we want to continue talking about security, there was an issue with, I don't know if it was just Stylus, but I saw Stylus was one of the problems where like they flagged it as malicious code on NPM, and a lot of stuff relied on it, and then all of their builds didn't work. So like major things were just all down for like a day because of that. I don't know if there's a question here. How do you guys feel about, like, should NPM be solely in charge of that? How do you mitigate that? Should you check in all of your node modules? That seems kind of overkill, but like, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's interesting. Like almost all like modern programming languages, frameworks, whatever, they all have package repositories where people have built really solid and meaningful pieces of code that a lot of people want to use in their applications. And I don't know how NPM has this very specific problem. Actually, I think I do. I think it's because JavaScript at first didn't have a very big standard library. It was made really, really fast. It's a great programming language, but it was very light. So you needed ways to add this behavior to your code that otherwise you wouldn't want to roll your own. And so I think that's why NPM to start off with was just so huge and had so many packages. That's because
100K color pickers.
100,000 color pickers. That's because JavaScript was just lacking in a way.
Yeah.
And so it is kind of a problem that is unique to NPM, I think. But at the same time, it's a good question to bring up. I don't have a...
Yes, I think in NPM, at the expense of a few false positives, NPM should be enforcing that 100%. And I think there's an argument to be made that you as the developer are responsible for reproducible builds. And if NPM goes down, like, that actually does fall back on you as a developer, which may mean you don't deploy then, which is fine. You just don't care. Or you have a copy of everything. I think that's totally reasonable. What I would do is just not deploy then. Like, this is the risk. Like, this is the risk I signed up for by letting them host everything. But I think if NPM flags a few things it shouldn't every now and then, I'm totally okay with that. If they flag, most of the things that they should, I'm okay with that trade-off.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I agree.
You have thoughts, Ken?
I don't think there's anything in place from someone pushing out a patch that should be a major right now.
Right.
So it's not the kind of thing you want to say out loud, but the system it has weak spots.
Yeah, you're relying on everyone to correctly use Simver and adhere to whatever license they've picked. Most people do MIT, but like, there's nothing saying that you could just change it or like not know what the license even means and do things that violate the license. Like
it goes deeper too, right? Like you are installing date picker LOL, right? But date picker LOL depends on 9 different dependencies, which in and of themselves depend on an additional 14 dependencies. So it's really kind of a hard topology to keep an eye on there, right? And there's tools. There are tools.
Oh yeah, we have proprietary tools. That's why I ask about this, because we had a thing that flagged. Have you guys heard of numerical recipes?
What is it?
Numerical recipes. It's like a 60-year-old book, and they put a bunch of constants in the book. Like, this is how you calculate like the seconds from like the epoch, or like, I don't know, things that are like not copyrightable in my opinion, but they copyright the whole book. And if you use any of the constants, you have to mention that you got it from their book.
Oh my God.
And so this was flagged in like a bunch of Go packages. And I was like, all right, I don't know anything about Go, but I'm just going to say this is an internal tool. I don't care. But like, it's just hilarious, like the way licenses work.
That thing you said about dependencies have dependencies is why I think NPM ultimately does need to be responsible for that. Because as much as I want to be, I can't keep up with all the transitive dependencies.
You can't sit there and police that depth graph like that.
Yeah. They should be able to.
I got a life to live. I can't do that.
That's tough. They should be able to graph out like which dependencies depend on what has the highest amount of dependencies depending on it, and like really police those packages first. And it could be like a cascading maybe thing. I think we're figuring this out, guys.
Just to bring it back to PHP, because that's what I know everyone wants to talk about is PHP.
Always,
yeah,
always.
PHP's package manager composer flattens everything. So like if A and B both rely on C, A and B have to agree what version of C they're going to rely on, and C comes out here. And so we still have transitive dependencies, but everyone has to agree on a version, and that keeps that depth chart from exploding.
That sounds hard, though.
I can't imagine. Yeah, it's like it takes a lot of coordination from the community, but it also takes a lot of like programming from the creators of Composer. But it works great. It's very good.
I thought someone over here might have something to say, but it seems like they don't. Okay. So you guys all make lots of content, do lots of things, give lots of talks.
I think these guys make a little bit more content than I do.
Yes.
Different kind of content.
Yeah.
Your content unto yourself.
I have a lifestyle brand.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. But the question is, what's your process for turning technical knowledge into something people actually want to consume?
That's an interesting question. I feel like everything behind what someone would want to consume kind of relies on the story you're trying to tell behind it, right? So it's really easy to make a video about some subject, let's say it's Linux or whatever, right? But what's more interesting is building a story behind what that video is about. Like, why are you interested in this? Why are you doing it? It gives you some kind of relatability. And also, like, I think other people will pick up on that and say, oh yeah, me too. Like, I feel the same exact way. I think I should look into this. And so I think making stuff that people want to see is really about the story you tell behind the thing, not the thing itself.
That's fair.
And you got to pick popular subjects.
Unfortunately.
That's why I don't make Rails videos.
Yep. Yeah. So I will yes and that. I agree with all of that and cosign. And the way that it works for me is I have like a couple mental triggers in my head when I'm working on something and I think, oh, that's interesting. It's like, oh, stop, write down what was interesting, what you were thinking, what you were trying to do. So you kind of have to get content brain, such that you have a background process running, and while you're working and you think, I didn't know that, or that's interesting, or this is weird, those are all triggers for like, hey, there's an angle here, let's write it down and then keep moving. Because unfortunately, you do have to do popular things that have hooks and a story, and like you can't just, if you want to have success, you have to like play the game, and part of the game is the hook. And if you can find yourself getting hooked by something, then you can turn around and make a video with kind of that same hook. So it's like a background process that is just running at all times.
Okay.
There's an interesting thing I heard once. I don't remember the names of the people, but someone in older, like is an old time kind of thing where he wrote, I didn't have time to write you a paragraph. So instead I wrote you 3 pages.
Yes.
Do you know who that was?
I know if I had enough time, I would have made it shorter. Yeah, but I don't know who's, it's like Mark Twain or somebody like that.
I think it was. Yeah. And so that's an interesting point, because if you're covering a whole entire subject, it's less interesting than the little piece that you find interesting.
Yes,
right.
Distilling the knowledge.
Yeah. And to what you were saying, like to find those little things that make it go, oh, that's interesting. Like those are the things you want to focus on and spend all of your time talking about, because that is, you have to kind of refine what that message is and why it's interesting, and that's what gets people excited about whatever it is you're talking about.
And I don't know about you, but you have to be excited about it.
Yes.
I have to be excited about it, otherwise it sucks.
Yeah.
And so like finding the thing that you're excited about as you're working, like capture that as quickly as you can, because it's just you're gonna forget about it and it's gonna go away.
Yeah.
It's that, and also you spend so much time making videos, so much time writing scripts, so much time thinking about how to come up with interesting ways to present information. If it's on a subject you don't like, you're going to get completely burned out. You're going to drop it. You're just not going to continue.
Yep.
So yeah, very important.
Yeah.
What's it like being a lifestyle brand?
He loves his life.
Just living hard, man. At least in my experience, right? And not just like hot tub drinking photos, but at least in technical content for me, I don't think people really do that well with abstract things.
I agree.
And this applies not just to technical content, but many things, right? Like I've had times where I've explained to people like, oh, I have this idea for this thing and this is what it's going to do. And it's going to be so cool. And they're like, ah. And then you go and you build it and then show them and they can see it. And they're like, holy shit, man, that's cool as fuck. Like this is so cool. So like people need to see things. So I think like a big part of where I approach it from is the hook. right? Where you hook them in with something that is cool as shit, right? Like you think of something like some demo or something where like they're like, whoa, that's neato, you know. How did you go about putting that together? And it's like, funny story, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
And then you start ripping through it, and you know
Yeah.
they have an incentive to listen to the next 10 minutes versus
Right.
like a build up to a look what we built, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like, make sure that you're hooking them early
Yeah,
so that it's not
like
the,
right off the bat.
We
You
do
guys
a
wanna see
bad job
something
of
cool?
that because we talk about whiskey for like 10 minutes and then we talk about cool
Yeah.
stuff.
But you hook the whiskey drinkers. That's their hook.
But I think you should take the interesting bits from later and put like a few highlights at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then people will be like, I know those are coming, so I'll skip through this whiskey part and listen to the rest. Yeah.
Yes, and I think the purest form of the hook is I'm excited. Let me tell you why I'm excited.
Yes.
And that feel to what you said, that feels the best and is like I don't have to manufacture something, which is exhausting.
Yeah, exactly.
This just in, Whiskey.fund is now open for all your merch needs. That's right, Robbie. We're hearing reports of hats, sweaters, and t-shirts, as well as a link to join our Discord server. What's a Discord server? Just read the prompter, man. Hit subscribe, leave us a review on your favorite podcast app, and tell your friends about our broadcast. It really does help us reach more people and keeps the show growing. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
All right. Hard-hitting question now. If you had to survive in the Montana wilderness with only one piece of technology, what are you bringing?
Probably Carson Gross. I mean,
I don't really want to leak alpha here, but I, despite very publicly disagreeing with AI, I do dabble. And so I did this thing where I set up like a SQLite vector database with embeddings from like 9 gigabytes of pirated survival PDFs. And then
you
I
were
run
prepared for this question.
Yeah, this is crazy.
So then I run it through a local Quen instance, obliterated so that it won't refuse any question. That's probably what I would bring, because I could ask it, and like I could be like, hey, like how do you make lie? And it's like, I'm glad you asked. And it'll tell you. So yeah, I mean, it would give all the answers to everything else that you need to do. I'm currently working on figuring out how to put this thing into like tablet form.
Ooh.
I have it running on a Jetson, but it's like not doing a good job. But that's what I would bring.
I would bring that too.
Yeah, that's a good answer,
The
yeah.
only thing that I would bring for sure.
It'd be fire, right? Like,
Yes,
That'd be
nine
dope. That'd be
gigabytes
nice.
of survival media that you can ask questions to. That's what I'm
awesome.
bringing.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I
Why
think
do
we
you
should
have
start a
that?
new Survivor show, and everyone just gets access to that. And
When we're
they
done
just,
here, I'll show it to you guys. It's hilarious.
Everybody should be doing the same
Why did
things.
you make that?
Yeah.
Are you expecting to go onto a desert island?
Oh, I'm just a lunatic.
Oh, okay. That checks out.
It's really important. Like you know, sometimes you'll sit there and you'll think like, you know, what if there wasn't internet? What if it went down? I think what had happened was there was some kind of like, somebody said something about some kind of like dollar collapse scenario or something like that. I remember reading some think piece about like it happening in like Eastern Europe or something. And they're like, oh man, it sucked and all this shit happened. And they're like, I was like, you know what, like, what would you even do, right? Like if you don't have Google at arm's reach, how do you plan
Fascinating.
against that? Because like right now, you know, we don't sit here and store a lot of this knowledge, right? Because it's too easy to just go out and get.
Yeah.
So if you have that there, and it's kind of like pages can get wet, thumb drives can malfunction.
Tablets could run out of charge.
Not
They
with
can.
the solar panel on the back.
Oh, well, that's two
And
pieces
a
of
crank
technology.
handle.
That's 3.
Yeah.
Dude, I have like a
data
whole thing
center
for
at this point.
Yeah,
I just feel like it would be a good thing to have.
I like it.
You know, you're like, how do we make a tourniquet out of like a shoelace and a pencil? I know, but I'm just saying.
yeah,
No, it's
yeah.
great.
Some question I don't know.
I agree. My answer was going to be a joke. Just bring a phone so I could call the cops. But
Can't bring
Oh,
a phone.
that's a good idea. I'm
Phones
actually
wouldn't
going to
work.
change my answer.
Yeah,
I like
phones
that
wouldn't
idea. Yeah. I'm stuck in the wilderness, Mom.
Yeah,
Can you
hello?
come get me?
Mom, yeah, it's me. Yeah, no. That the locally running LLM with a vector database is really
That's a little
sick.
bit. That's a little more big brain than our phone
That's
idea.
cool. Yeah.
I'll show it to you guys after this. I can tap in from my phone.
Yeah,
All right.
I want to
That'd
see
be
that.
awesome. Yeah, that's really
Cool.
cool.
Okay, so we all have 3+ kids. How do you balance family responsibilities with all the shit we're doing?
There's a fun fact. All of us on stage, between the 4 of us, there are 4 sets of twins.
4 sets of twins.
One set of twin.
Oh yeah.
One
Okay,
set
I was
of
like,
twins.
you don't have twins.
Two
but-
sets of
Two
twins.
sets of
'cause
twins.
you had the
Somebody's
two.
an
Okay.
overachiever.
Yeah.
Some twins
And
right
no
here,
sets
buddy.
of twins.
I didn't mean to leave you out.
Yeah.
I got some twins right here.
Oh yeah, I guess there's like 8 sets of twins then.
No, I have
Let's keep it family friendly.
individual children in a row.
Yeah.
What was the question?
How do you
I'll
manage
start.
it?
I'll
Yeah.
start.
Do you have the high score?
I have 4 kids. So I
Yeah,
have
I'm only at 3.
two
Yeah, I'm at
sets
3
of
as well.
twins.
Yeah.
So we have 2 4-year-olds and 2 18-month-olds.
And how do you manage?
I have pretty strict rules for myself. I am very, very willing to sacrifice things that I want. I am 0% willing to sacrifice things on behalf of my children. So I don't miss dinner. I put the kids to bed. I put the big kids to bed every night. If that means I have to stay up late, or I have to get up early, or I don't get to play golf, which I don't, or have frankly any hobbies at all, that's fine. Those are things I'm willing to sacrifice for me. I'm not willing to sacrifice my children's childhood because I have dreams, right?
Yeah.
And so if there is a sacrifice to be made, the question is this pain going to be borne by me, or is it going to be borne by my children?
It's a no-brainer.
Because it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
And so I wake the big kids up every day, bring them down, get them set up for breakfast, and then I go to work. And then the time comes where I'm not done with work, but that doesn't matter because I don't stop when I'm finished. I stop when it's dinner time, bedtime, and I come home. And so, like, I've given up a lot of things. I don't have hardly any hobbies, but I have dreams that I do want to see fulfilled. And so I'm working towards that, but not at the sake of my family.
That's fair. So PHP isn't a hobby then?
PHP is not a hobby. PHP is a religion. It is a calling.
PHP
It
is
is a
road.
profession.
Okay.
We got PHP fan here.
We got one. That's all I
Nice.
need.
Yeah.
We're a quorum.
I agree with that 100%. I think it's very important. And there's 2 things to keep in mind there. There's the selfless part of you, which wants to say, I want to give my kids the best possible life they can have, the best foundation for their upbringing, and just give them everything that they could need as human beings so that they're set up well later on in life, in their teenage years and so on and so forth. And I think that's really important to do that. But even if you think about this in a more selfish way, it's like, I want to do all these things now for my kids so that they're set up really well, but it's only going to be for so long until like they're going to be out of the house. They're going to go to college. You want to enjoy that time with them while you have it, because it is going to be only so much time.
Yep.
And I've seen that now. I feel like yesterday we had our twins. They're 6. They're going into 1st grade. Oh,
They looking
crazy.
at colleges yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
applied to a few.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Ken, you got thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really don't move anywhere. I have spent 40 years in the same town. Me, my wife, our children, our parents, our brothers or sisters or grandparents all live in a 5-mile square radius.
Awesome.
We all live there. So it would be wild to leave to go work something. So
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot of opportunity that could have happened that I wasn't willing to do because it would kind of mess that up. Like in New Jersey, dude, I walked on the street, like sparrows put a coat on me. Old Sicilian women throw me a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
I'm like, they say hello to you, motherfucker. Kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
and that's really hard to give up. And then on top of that, right, I think that one of the most important things is being present.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's not just for their sake, it's for my sake. Have you ever seen that chart where it shows like
don't
time
bring
spent
up
with
the chart.
children? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, no, yeah.
The time spent with children over time.
Yep.
Sometimes you see some shit like that, or you see the thing where it's like the squares of all the weekends
Yep.
in your life. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And that is like a giant steel-toed boot ass kick to really take stock, right? So like,
And for the audience, the chart is basically like by the time your kid leaves home at 18, you've spent 90% of your FaceTime with them.
you ever will.
Ever.
So
It's brutal.
I am like steadfast in being a remote worker, even though there's opportunities right now. I'm not going to do them. I am not leaving this. I'm not going working anywhere until we get over that line there. So yeah, it's great, dude. I wake up, I get more work done than dude, you go to the office and people are sitting there doing God knows what.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sitting there locked in. But
Yeah.
at the same time, dude, I have breakfast with my kids. You know, they have like a problem. They run down. I'm like, what's up, man? What's going on? Shortstop? You know, so yeah, that's it's prioritization.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, I get that that's personal. Some people want to be do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Try hard, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Not me, dude. That's my value set personally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the remote work thing is really beneficial because when I was working at Amazon, I had to commute like an hour each way pretty much. I had maybe an hour or two of free time to begin with, so that's gone. Yeah, so it is really helpful. Like now I can wake up and I can make breakfast or like hang out with the kids for a little bit before I start work instead of just being like, I'm going to go drive, because if I wait to drive, it's going to take 2 hours.
Ugh.
Like you can't wait to drive. You got to leave the house at 6 a.m. if you're going to the office.
And if your kids have like good sleep hygiene, there's a chance you might not see them at night at all.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mine don't. So they go to bed 9, 10 at night. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I know that like they see the parents on the weekends essentially.
Yeah.
Can
These
imagine
folks are
that.
just working.
There are pros and cons to working from home. Obvious pros: more time with the kids, more time with the family.
Being able to fart whenever you want.
Huh?
Being able to fart whenever
Being
you
able
want.
to fart whenever you want. Just ripping them in the
Sure.
office. Just ripping them. But there are cons to it as well. I know this wasn't the original question, but it just
No, go where it
this
goes.
is something that's very present in my life, and there's a lot of cons. I think you have to be the right kind of person to be able to work from home effectively, because working from home, if you're not a routine driven person, I've found out about myself now that I'm 40, young, and found out about myself finally that I don't think I'm very good with routines. And so for me, I tend to slip into very bad habits when it comes from working from home. There's nothing crazy, but the habits really revolve around how do I manage my time effectively when it comes to actually working, not with being with the family, but like actually sitting down and being like, okay, now it's work time. Like, it's too easy to be distracted sometimes when you're just by yourself. So I wondered,
Do you have a dedicated space?
I do. I have a little office, but it's just it's in the house, you know. So it's like it's part of a.
You got to get that apartment.
So
I've thought about that actually. That's a great.
I have found no matter how big or small, the air gap is helpful. I used to have a shed in my backyard that I turned into an office,
Oh,
and
sweet.
just the act of like walking across the yard to go to work and then walking across the yard to come home was very helpful. Now with the 2 sets of twins at home, I can't make videos at home.
No, yeah.
And so I have an office just down the road, which is actually an apartment that I turned into a YouTube studio. And it takes me 2 minutes, 3 minutes to get to work. And it's incredibly helpful for kicking you into the like work mode.
Yep.
Because when you walk into your home office in your socks and basketball shorts and you're like,
Exactly.
all right, I guess I'll work now, but I was just like hanging out outside. It just feels different. So
Yeah,
the air gap to me is very helpful.
I think that's a really good word, air gap. That's very interesting. I like that.
It takes
I think
a
that's-
degree of discipline.
Yes.
Yes.
I lock in, dude. I'm down there 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Locked in.
Yep.
See, I think that's where my problem is. I don't get locked in. Well, I do, but like it takes me a long time to get there. And I think if there's this weird kind of blurring of that line, kind of like where you're getting at between work and home.
Yes.
Like I'll drop the kids off at school, make them breakfast, get them ready, drop them off. I come home, and you would think that line is pretty straightforward, but then it's like, it isn't. It kind of gets blurred.
Let me
'cause
toss some stuff in the laundry. Let me pick up a little few toys.
Look
Yeah.
outside. All the grass is getting a little tall. Got to mow that. Think about all the
That's
home
how
stuff.
they get you.
Yep. It's tough. But yeah, I
tough.
think that's.
You got to get that robot mower.
I got to buy an apartment.
You got to get an apartment. That's what you got to do. Nope.
Yeah. All right. So let's think to a theoretical future. Big Sky DevCon 2030.
2030.
Yes. What technology are we arguing about that doesn't exist yet?
That doesn't exist yet. I was going to say we'd still be arguing about React, but that doesn't exist.
Well, it'll be dead
yet.
by then. You heard it here first.
I think directionally it'll be something that is like just-in-time AI interfaces or something. People are talking about, we won't need UI anymore. The AI will build your UI on the fly. And I'm
Bespoke
like,
to your preferences.
this is the worst idea I've ever heard. But I imagine it will come to fruition, and I will still think it's a terrible idea, and we can argue about it then.
Well, if they have a setting that you can put it all into, like, I want it to look like 2004 Flash websites, then I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
yeah. I
we'll
miss those.
probably yearn for 2025 Shad CN at that point.
What was the date range you put on this?
2030.
2030?
I don't know. I don't know if it's enough time.
I can imagine
Yeah.
a talk title right now for 2030. JavaScript in your neural link, good or bad?
I don't think you're wrong. I think that, well, you kind of have a lot of things taking place at once, right? But one is like the degradation of the conventional internet, right? It's being just absolutely slammed with bots, slop content. You know, it's attacked from all sides. And then you look at other non-tech factors that are going on in the world. It's probably get pretty weird. I think that
It's going to get weird.
Yeah.
I think you're
before
going
it
to
gets
not
better.
have.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, do you really need UIs, right? Like, if you have that on-demand stuff, and like,
Yes.
if you're doing that, like, do you really need a phone, right? Like, if you're going to do this biological like integration.
I would love to not have a phone.
But like,
personally.
imagine you're sitting there like on your eyeball, like watching some like content that I'm not going to say on stream, and like no one knows. It's just like right on the other side of your eyeball, right? That kind of thing. And like,
If we're doing content in our eyeballs, I'm going to get lost in the forest by myself. Yeah.
why do you
I
think
don't-
I'm sitting here building 9 gigabyte survival PDF local LLMs?
I'm out
Hell
of
yeah,
here.
that's good.
Yeah, that's
Comes full
why.
circle.
Because I think it's going to get weird. I think it's going to get real weird.
It is.
I don't think it is. I feel like all of these hyped up. I think AI is a real tool that'll be with us for a really long time,
I agree.
and it's a really good tool to know how to use well.
I agree.
But a lot of these things get really hyped to the extent that it's almost comical, and the reality lies somewhere well below the ideal vision of the thing, according to whoever's hyping it.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where it's like we don't need UIs or whatever.
I hope
I just
not.
don't see that.
I do.
But then again,
I do. And if you look at China, they already have. If you look at like a WeChat style experience, right? Like there's no need for a website. All business is done on WeChat, and it's all widget based, right? So like, if you have a future where you know you can do whatever you want and you get any data you want and it just integrates it on the fly, like why would you make a website? Why doesn't your feed just like dynamically generate the widgetry to act upon?
You need a lot of trust, though. Like, is the stuff that's being generated doing what I want? I like to see a UI because I can visually, it holds my hand and it's like, you did this, check mark.
It's just
and
what
like,
the affordances are.
yeah,
Like what you can
so
do.
I like to look at it and know that I was in control and I clicked some things and something happened. But I do think that that will go away somewhat. Most things you'll just trust it works. But then what happens when we've trusted everything works for a decade and the AI is built upon itself and it collapses?
The end.
You could say
like,
that for
time.
almost any technology we have today.
That's true.
Like, how many people do you know that know how to make lye from wood ash?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like it's just lost technology outside of like manufacturing, right? Which is not even done here any longer. Yeah, it's gonna get super duper weird.
Yeah.
there's gonna
We'll
be a TAB version 2. Like,
Yes.
we trusted the AI to do the thing we wanted. Now, oops, everyone's addresses are leaked with their pictures. Like
Yep.
that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen is that there's something that we can't necessarily see right now.
Yeah.
If we were to go back to 1997, right? Like there was no such thing as an iPhone or an app.
Yep.
It just didn't exist, right? It's an entire new category, right? Like there was a period of time when dudes used to walk around in jeans
Hell yeah.
with a wallet and some cigarettes and some truck keys, and that was it.
And they were free.
Yeah.
Man,
They were better for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like there are things that now are requirements that were not requirements prior. Like we didn't know out of nowhere, like this phone became a thing. And I think that we're probably on the cusp of the next one of those, where whatever it's going to be, right? It's not going to be some evolution of some category or product that exists right now. It's going to be a new thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna get
the
weird
new
as hell. It's probably gonna be
OpenAI
sick.
physical device.
I don't know what it's going to be, but whatever it is, it's probably going to be sick.
Yeah.
Sick enough to not be wary of it, but everything's gonna get really weird. Like, you know how
It'll
like
probably be
phones came
awesome.
out and shit got really weird, and it's like,
Yeah.
we're like, what is it doing to the kids? Like, whatever this next thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Do you guys-
all mush.
Do you guys remember printing out MapQuest maps?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
You reminded me of that.
And then you would
That's
miss
Do you
the
remember
turn.
ripping the dots off the edge?
Yep.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember printing out MapQuest directions and I missed the turn on the interstate and was like,
Game over.
I'm just going to go straight.
Yeah.
And it actually worked out because MapQuest was wrong. And so, like, I was touring with my band and, like, the other car went the other way. And, like, followed the directions and they got stuck and had to stay in a hotel and we went home. So, like, sometimes it worked out. But, yeah, it was crazy. Like, you wanted to get internet on your phone. You had to, like, be like, yeah, let me go into the, like, Verizon internet app and be like, like,
Yeah. But to your point, like that's you wouldn't have imagined the reliance on Apple Maps or Google Maps, whatever the navigation system is on your phone back in the 90s. You wouldn't even be able to comprehend that.
It wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even a palpable thing that is even. These words aren't in the Bible. Like,
Yeah, right.
you're like, what is this? It's a completely new thing. It's like when somebody says agentic. Like, that's not a fucking word. It's that kind of thing, right? I think we're definitely like on like the technology cycle cusp of something that's completely different like that, and it's probably biologically integrated, or at very least like VR-ish, AR-ish.
Yeah.
You guys fuck with VR? It's
What's
really
that?
fun. You guys fuck around with VR.
Yeah, some.
Like pass-through on like Quest 3 is a lot of fun. What I'll do is I'll do like Replit while I'm on the toilet. And it's really fun because you can just use your hands. You don't even need controllers anymore. So I'll just be sitting there with this thing on. And look, like if you had like the third-party view of this, it's the craziest thing you've ever seen in your
fly on
life.
the wall in
Dude,
that
it's bananas. Like where you're standing, right? Like you just take this like Replit window, you're like, and you're sitting there and you turn on voice dictation. You're like, yo, make me this
I
thing.
really thought VR was going to take off more than it did.
It really should, because I love it and I still use it all the time. I think it's great.
All right, so one final question. I know we're kind of at time. What's one piece of advice you wish someone had given you that you'd like to pass on? We'll just go across the line.
I would say be less afraid of failing and dream a little bit bigger. You must dream a little bit bigger, darling. I think there's this notion that like failure is permanent or like embarrassment is forever. And if you can get over the idea of embarrassment mattering at all, you basically are free. You have a superpower.
Yep.
And so you look at like the people that we admire, whether that's Adam Wathan or DHH or Taylor Otwell or whatever, they didn't ask for permission. Like Adam Wathan, Tailwind is a great example because he like was building something fundamentally different on stream. And the genesis of Tailwind came from those streams of him building something different. And people were like, no, cool, whatever. I want that. What is that?
Yeah.
And just the willingness to put yourself out there and risk embarrassment is, I think, the way that you get through to the other side of like getting the things that you want.
Yeah.
And I think if I could tell myself, my younger self, something, it would be like, yeah, you're going to be embarrassed, but everything you want is on the other side of embarrassment.
Yeah. The safe choice is safe.
Yes.
Everyone can do the safe choice.
Yep.
Yes.
I would just say on a more professional level, like just put stuff out there. Just get going on whatever idea you have in your head. Don't think about it too much. When you have the idea, just try. Just go for it. And that's basically it.
Agreed. All right. Ken?
A long time ago, like, I don't know, like 15, maybe, I don't know, about 20. Certainly the better part of 15 years ago, I'm working and this guy gives me this book, and it was called The Go-Giver, right? And, I read it a couple times, but it kind of boils down to that the more you give out, like professionally or interpersonally or whatever, the more that kind of just like entropically comes back to you.
I love that.
Right? So tried to use it as a kind of like a general principle, right? Just fucking hook people up. And it's worked out really well so far. Like, it's really worked out. So yeah, be generous with your time, help people in any way possible. Not with the explicit intention of it coming back to you any X-fold.
Right.
But it's a pretty tight way to operate in general.
Cool.
These are the exact same answer, by the way.
Yeah.
All three of those answers are fundamentally the same thing.
Yeah.
Put stuff out there, help other people. Don't be afraid of putting stuff out there and looking like an idiot. Like those are, that is what these old people on stage wish they would have known earlier. Yes.
That's right.
Because back in the day, you're a bit timid back in the day, right?
Yes.
You're like sitting there like fucking like,
You're worried about yourself. Your ego's a little bit
People
bigger.
are going to
You're
think
like,
I'm stupid if I release
Exactly.
whatever. Yep.
Exactly.
It's great now because they know that I'm stupid.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm gonna get up
That
there.
You
hell
have to
is
get
fun.
over that.
They know what they're
concept.
getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's freeing when everyone knows. Yeah.
It really is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being on. Thanks
Thank you.
everyone
Thanks
out
for
there for
having.
listening. If you are not already subscribed, go to whatever you listen to podcasts on, subscribe there, leave us some reviews. We appreciate it. Everyone listening on the stream, do the same thing. And we will catch you all next time.
Thanks.
You've been watching Whiskey Web and Whatnot, recorded in front of a live studio audience.
What the fuck are you talking about, Chuck?
Enjoyed the show? Subscribe.
You know people don't pay attention to these, right?
Head to whiskey.fun for merch and to join our Discord server.
I'm serious. It's like 2% of people who actually click these links.
And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review and tell your friends about the show.
All right, dude, I'm out of here.
Still got it.